As police officers, our goal is not to put people in jail. Our goal is to help them, but they have to have a better understanding of what really happens.
Do you really know what it's like to be arrested?
Never had a gun pointed at me. That was definitely probably one of the scariest things I've ever experienced.
The handcuffs.
The feeling you get when that door closes on that car and you have those hard metal cuffs around your wrists, it hurts.
Being in the back of that cop car, I kind of lost my mind.
The search.
Humiliating. Humiliating.
The cells.
People have a difficult time coming in here.
Going to jail or being arrested is a very scary thing.
Hey, sir, stop right there, Ben Police.
Do you understand the repercussions of mild drug use?
I had it all. I had a family, I had a life, I had a job, I had a routine. Literally one day, it all got taken away. My children got taken, my job was gone, my house was gone. There was drugs that played a part. That was a very vicious part. So I turned to the streets. I had nobody. I'm alone and I'm doing drugs and I'm high and I'm wandering. I've got nothing.
You keep looking for that more intense high.
Do you have anything on you I should be concerned about? Any weapons, drugs, knives?
Got into high school, started smoking weed. Weed can only take you so far. And I hear kids at school all the time, oh, I'm about to try some mushies, some coke, stuff like that. Kids who just originally started smoking weed. I started smoking weed, got into the pills, got into a little bit of the powder.
Meet Joe Chappue. He's 39 years old and has collectively spent 20 years in jail. Half his life.
There's nothing cool or glamorous about it, and you are going to be exposed to a tremendous amount of violence, subjected to a tremendous amount of failure, insecurity, sadness, heartache, pain.
Once a teenager enters the adult jail, all bets are off.
They've entered a different world on their 18th birthday.
These guys will go in and they'll be 17, 18, 19 years old, and they'll think that all these guys care about them. To watch the first time that this same group or gang or organization says, you know what, we've given you all this, we've given you some coffee, we've given you some support, now you owe us. And the guys and the kid, not the guy, the kid, the child, is like, well, what do I owe you? Well, there's a guy over here that crossed me. I want you to go stab him, or I want you to go hit him in the chow hall with a master lock around your fist. And the guy's like, well, man, I got 2 months left. Why would you want me to do that? Well, if you don't do it, you're going to get punked out.
Prison becomes a vicious circle, but the early, petty crimes start.
I was about 15 years old and snuck out of my house. We started driving around a little bit. We both had alcohol in our system. We both had. We passed by Safeway and we decided to get some eggs. We were throwing eggs at random things and we saw the police station, so we decided to hit that a couple times. As we drove further down the road, he saw a liquor store and said, do you want to break into that? And I was like, no, dude, I'm good. We saw the Cascade Yamaha Sport, the motorcycle shop. He just pulled in there, shut off the lights, and he was like, I'm getting a bike, I'll be right back. Next thing I know, I hear this alarm going off. He's running out to the car, and as I stepped out of the car, with my hands above my head, high in the air, I looked back and saw about 40 guns pointed at me from every direction.
Do you think that defense attorneys can get you off?
It's pretty common that the big lie is tried on the lawyer first, because if they can convince a lawyer, then maybe they can slide it by the jury or the judge. That happens all the time. I have ways of dealing with that, but it's often it's often what we get on the first interview.
Do you think the judge will have mercy? They won't.
Then their parents come in and they say, why is my child going to prison? I thought it was 3 strikes and you're out. And I say, in Oregon, it's 1 strike and you're out.
You don't get to go home. You go to jail.
And it doesn't matter whether you've been taking methamphetamine or not. You're going away for a long period of time.
The cells are 8 by 12, metal to metal. They spend 3 days in these cells. They're on 23-hour lockdown.
When inmates first come in here, there's a lot of feeling of anxiety, probably a lot of depression. It's one way to take people away from their family, what they're used to, stuck in a cell all day long.
I can't tell you the number of moms and dads who have been in here that have been totally devastated by their children's actions.
I lost any and all trust I had with my dad, and still trying to earn that trust back. I mean, looking at his face the time I got locked up was something I could never bear to look at again.
Once an inmate gets through the first 3 days, they go into general population, where they're with 20 other inmates.
Do assaults happen in our jail? Yes, they do. They happen here in Deschutes County.
The first time ever I was actually shackled to somebody, I accidentally pulled on the girl's shackles too hard. She wrapped that chain around my neck and beat the living crap out of me. You call for the deputy for help, forget it. You're gonna get the crap beat out of you even more.
Some people are just really shocked by the jail environment and never want to go back, and that's a good deterrent.
Surrounded by strangers, surrounded by criminals.
The first day I walking down this hallway, some kid just walked straight up to the window and just slammed his head right into the window.
Currently in Deschutes County, 519 juveniles are under supervision. 25 are in state custody on Measure 11 crimes like assault.
If you get involved in these situations, no matter how well intentioned, you will go away for a long period of time. You need to understand what the law is, because if you get convicted of this crime, the only thing the judge is going to do is impose the mandatory sentence. There is no discretion.
32% of the juveniles that commit a crime do it again.
Most of the kids who get MIP, do that stuff, and just get that one, think that it's okay to smoke. That's what I thought. I thought after that, I was like, oh, I can still smoke weed, it's no big deal. Well, I was wrong. I smoked weed, failed the UA, they locked me up.
In a sea of criminals, but completely alone.
You have no friends. You have nothing.
It makes it hard to go to college and get a job. Your record stays with you.
If you get a felony conviction of any kind, then housing is hard, jobs are hard, you're very limited in the jobs that you can do, and that'll affect you the rest of your life.
It becomes a circle, a life of crime, a life spent in jail. And once you leave the prison system, it doesn't leave you.
It's a very, very insecure feeling. It is. When I walk into a store, do you know that I carry my wallet? I carry my wallet in my hand so people won't think that I'm going to steal. Because of the tattoos, you know, because of the way I carry myself, because I know that I'm not, when people look at me, I can kind of see it in their eyes sometimes. They don't see me as a normal guy.
Listen to these stories, learn from these stories so you don't make the same mistake.
Mostly the people who think getting arrested is fun is the people who haven't gotten arrested yet.
That's a wrap.